This is section 8, implicit differentiation, example 2. So when we find an equation of the tangent line to the graph of the function, we're just finding the equation of the tangent line. And to do that, we're going to use implicit differentiation here because the function is in terms of x and y, right? There's x and y on one side of the equation instead of separated. And we need to find two things. We have to be able to find the point and the slope. The slope's given by the derivative. The point is actually just given to us in the problem. So let's go ahead and find all of those things, right? First thing, slope. To find slope, implicit differentiation. For part A, we're going to use the chain rule. So we take our 2, we move it to the front. We have 2 times the inside stays the same to our new exponent, which is just 1, times the derivative of the inside, which is dx dx plus dy dx, plus the derivative of y, which is dy dx, and that equals the derivative of 15, which is 0. Remember that dx dx is just 1. So when I do this, the fastest way I'm going to be able to do this is just to double distribute, unfortunately. So I'm just going to write it a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 2, so we get 2x plus 2y, and I'm going to look at this as 1 plus dy dx. And then that plus dy dx just stays over here. Eventually we're going to want to get that by itself on the left side. So we have 2x plus 2x dy dx plus 2y plus 2y dy dx. That's what I get by double distributing. Dy dx is still added to the end because of that, right? That just went right there. Now my job is to get dy dx on the left side. To do that, I'm going to move the 2x and the 2y to the other side. So I will subtract. So I get 2x dy dx plus 2y dy dx plus dy dx equals negative 2x minus 2y. There's a dy dx in all of them, so I'm going to take it out. So inside it's 2x plus 2y plus 1. I'm then going to divide by the inside. So dy dx ends up equaling negative 2x minus 2y all over 2x plus 2y plus 1. Now remember, I need to evaluate this at the point negative 3, negative 1. That's going to give me my slope. So let's do that, which means we have, let's see, negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. I'm sorry, that's x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Then we have a negative 2 plus 1, which means 6, 7, 8 over negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. That's the slope. Then we plug in the numbers. So it ends up being y plus 1, because that's the y value, equals negative 8 over 7 times x plus 3. Remember, it's always subtraction, so if it was already negative, then you have to flip the sign. All right, part B. I'm going to go ahead and change this to that 1/2 like I did in the other problem before I take the derivative, because that's going to take a minute. So let's use purple. All right, the derivative of y is dy dx. Now I use chain rule, so we have 1/2. Inside stays the same. We still subtract 1 times the derivative of the inside. This is product rule, so we have the first times the derivative of y plus the second times the derivative of x. And that equals 0 because the derivative of a number is just 0. dx dx is 1. That's helpful. And we're going to have to distribute this again. So I'm going to distribute this first term to both of these like I did last time, and I'm going to change where everything is as well, make it pretty. It's sometimes when it's, I know you don't always like to simplify it, but when you're going through a problem like this and you end up having to plug numbers in, simplifying is going to make it easier. I promise. It'll always make it easier at the end. So dy dx plus, now remember the 2's in the denominator here, and this term goes to the denominator too. So it's going to end up being x over 2 root xy dy dx plus y over 2 root xy, that's it, equals 0. So I'm going to take this one and move it to the other side, and there's a dy dx in both of these, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those out at the same time. So I'm doing two things at the same time. I'm going to pull dy dx out of the two terms that are left over, and I'm going to move the y to the other side. So dy dx times 1 plus x over 2 root xy equals negative y over 2 root xy. I'm going to try to get dy dx by itself. To do that, I'm going to divide. So again, ugly, ugly, ugly fraction, but it'll work. We have negative y over 2 root xy all over 1 plus x over 2 root xy. Okay, and we are evaluating that at 2, 2. So we get negative 2 over, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times the square root of 4 is 4, over, hey, we did this one. That's okay, you get to see it again. Over 1 plus 2 over 4. It is a little different. Okay, so 2 over 4 plus 1 is 6 over 4. So we get negative 2 over 4 times 4 over 6. Nope, it's the same. That's a 1/3, so this is negative 1/3. That's the slope, so the equation is y minus 2 equals negative 1/3 x minus 2.